So today I felt like connecting back with the food that I grew up eating. Hello everyone, welcome back to Taste of Home. Today I felt like going back into childhood memories. Today I'll be making red beans or nyemba or indumba or imbumba, whatever you want to call it, but in English it's called cowpeas. This is one of my favorite meals when I was growing up. Not probably my favorite, but it was one of those meals when our grandma visited. They would bring it from the rural areas, and then sometimes our parents would make it so that we can also get in touch with our traditional foods. And today in the kitchen, in my kitchen, I'm busy making the same food so that my family can also enjoy. These were brought by my mom, bless her heart, from Bulawayo. She actually bought me quite a lot of things. I'll show you in the next clip. So just to give you a bit of a clip, this is what my mom carried all the way when she came to visit me. This is what we'll be preparing. I'll measure about 2 cups there. And yeah, and this, no, let's start with this one. This is called I think groundnuts or nimo or indlubu. And then this is the one that I'm craving for, indumba or imbumba. These are just some nice sweet potatoes. I always have sweet potatoes all the time. And then this one is actually dried corn. So I'll try and explain to you how you prepare this. But basically you boil your soft corn and then you let it dry in the sun. So this was mainly meant for preservation, and also usually when there's a lot of leftover cooked corn, sometimes it goes badly even if you put it in the fridge. And our grandmas used to just take it, dry it in the sun, and then it dries up to this, becomes very hard. But this was actually cooked, and you can recook it. Actually, it's nicer when you mix it with what I'm about to prepare now. So let's get going. This is just a fruit called muni or uni. We used to call it uni or umni. It's very sweet. It can also be preserved. It can stay up to like a lot of months. So let's make this one today. We'll start off counting our 2 cups. So we start off with the selection. So here we're basically picking up the good ones, the selection process. So you really have to be very thorough to pick up the good ones, or else when you're eating you don't want to bump into a rock. So you see these ones, they were getting bad, so we will put them aside, and then we are left with the good ones. You just have to look for a technique that works faster. So usually my technique is I just put them like this, and then at the end here I kind of like select out the bad ones, the good ones, and this is how I kind of like solve the puzzle. Okay, this is bad. It's okay. So this is something you can actually get like a pebble. That's why you need to select one by one. There is no shortcuts around it. Now this is all the dirty. This is all the dirt. The next step is to wash these beans thoroughly, and then we can boil them. We basically boil them with water. So yeah, let me go wash it. As you wash it, there's some that will float on top, like these ones. It's okay. So sometimes the bad ones also go on top, so it's just easy. You just pick the ones that are floating, throw them in the chickens or in the bin. Then you only want it to be all seated like this. So you see a lot that are floating, just take them and throw them away. Let's prepare our maize. This is how you do it. So you want to do it inside a plate. As easy as that. It can be a bit hard, so you might need to use a spoon sometimes. It's easier when you do it with your hands. When you do it with your hands, even though some are popping out, and you can see there's these flies. Don't know if you can see it. It's literally crawling out, but it's all good. So we need to use a spoon here. Right. So this is what you have now. Let's do your corn. Except that is dried. Let me go give it a quick wash and then we'll come back later. Now our beans, now it's ready to cook. As long as they've doubled in size, they are ready to cook. And now we can pour them inside the pot, and then we can cook them for at least an hour and a half. And we can also add in our dried maize that we just washed now. Now let's get cooking. Now they're ready to cook. We can now safely close the lid. So yeah, now that it's all cooking, and whilst we wait, usually such meals would drink them with tea, sweet potatoes, and sometimes with bread, like flatbread, or maybe pan bread. So you cook it in a pan on a stove, and yeah, it was very quick and fast. I know there's pancakes, which is the fancier version, but this one we used to call it chimko zamvana. That's in Shona, it's called chimko zamvana. I'm not sure what it's called in Ndebele or any other languages, but I'll show you how to make it quickly. So first of all, you need a cup of flour, your sugar, and your salt, and that's it. Like I said, it's almost like a mini version of pancakes, except that you make it, except that it's thicker actually. So pancakes are nice and soft. And this one, you only use the ingredients that you have that are available. So usually in the house, you'd only have flour and sugar and salt, which are the basics that our moms used to buy in the house. And if you didn't have bread, this was the quick fix. This was the quickest way to make bread and eat as fast as you can, or immediately. The next thing is just to put a tablespoon of salt, should be fine. We used to use self-raising flour. So since this one is not self-raising flour, I'm going to use baking powder. So you need maybe like a teaspoon actually. And those are the three things you needed: just your flour, your salt, sugar, and your baking powder. If you had self-raising flour, it was actually even easier, because you know you're just putting in, and you also need water. So that's what we're gonna add now. Those are the 3 ingredients you needed, and then you mix it, you put it in the pan, you put it on the stove. Let's get going. The next stage was to add your water. So like I said, you only needed very basic in your flour, sugar, salt, and water, and then you start to mix this. No oil. If you had oil, because back in the days our mom would scream like, you're wasting oil, you're wasting sugar. So it put in the minimal you could get around in the house. But I mean, obviously, maybe I'm exaggerating, mom, please forgive me if I'm exaggerating these things, but it was one of my favorite bread. Honestly, I would prefer this bread more than anything else, because it was nice and tasty when compared to the other bread. Okay, so actually this bread didn't have any measurements. Honestly, you'd mix the flour until you reach a consistency that you feel like is okay to you. I might have added too much water in here. I can see this is becoming too thick. It's not exactly what I was hoping for, but well, it is a starting point. Yeah, now that it's okay, we now need to put in our oil, because we're now ready to cook this. So you just put a bit of oil in there, then you just make sure that the oil covers everywhere. I'm just gonna use this, honestly, I don't want to touch some oil, so just add everything like that. Okay, now let's add in our flour mixture. It's all good, so we just put all of it like this. Now on low heat we put it on the stove for cooking. Make sure the heat is low. I've already checked, and then we put in our bread there. When it started bubbling like this, it was a good sign. It shows that it is cooking. And again, the tricky part is not to burn it. I'm ready to do the flip, but before I do the flip, I just need, it's breaking, I just need to add in some bit of oil in there so that it doesn't. Okay, there we go. Oops, yes. That was a good one, eh? Bravo to me. Bravo to me. That was a nice good flip. So this is what you're looking for. You can see the corn is starting to, it has formed back to its shape. It looks fresh, even though you know it wasn't. And it mixed well with the cowpeas. Yemba, hehehe, hanakuti or indumba. So this is the right time to add in salt and oil if you want. So let's do it now. So our salt, yeah, put a bit of oil in there, yeah, let it simmer. Okay, so now let's check on the bread. This looks, so I see how nice it looks. Good. So this is how you make your, there you go, this looks nice and cooked. Now this is our end products, our cowpeas on yemba. I also put in some sweet potatoes and chimkotamvana or chimbakiwa. I don't know, whichever way you want. This is exactly how my mom or my grandma would dish this up, especially my grandma in the rural areas. It would look exactly like this. I did try to set it up exactly the way. But yeah, and your nice tea from this teapot. Let's add in the tea there. I'm spilling, it's okay. Nice and creamy. So now, yeah, let's dish it up. Let's dish up everything so that we can enjoy. So you wanna scoop out the juicy part. Go. This is how it looks like at the moment. Now this is how exactly you'd cut the bread. No need to look for a board or anything. You just cut using your, and you just do some nice quarters like that. And you put it so there, then let's just cut the last part. There you go. Yeah, there you go. This is how the meal looks like. With a bit of sweet potato, you'd have a very delicious combo. I hope you did enjoy watching this video, and I'll see you in the next video.